class. I've missed you guys so much. Can't wait to get started in this third quarter. Um, and can't wait to talk to you guys and see you guys all on Tuesday. But today we're going to start a new section called, and we're going to talk about percent of a number. We kind of went over a little bit of this at the end of last quarter, but we're going to delve in deeper to that today and throughout this week. You will have a quiz on this on Friday, so make sure that you're paying attention. Right now, I'd like for you to get a piece of paper and a pencil and be sure and take notes. Be sure to submit those notes at the end of this video. You're also going to have 3 questions that you're going to have to do. So make sure that you watch the whole video and that you write all your notes down and that you understand how to find percent of a number, okay? If you can memorize this where it says percent over 100 equals part over whole, or percent over 100 equals is over of, that will be very important for you. That will help you always be able to find the percent of a number. Whether you know the percent, whether you know the part, whether you know the whole, you will be able to find, if you know 2 of those things, if you know percent and part, you can find the whole. If you know part and whole, you can find the percent. If you know percent and whole, you can find the part. Today, we're just going to talk about percent. We're just going to talk about, percent of a number. We're going to try to find that part. We're going to know the whole on this assignment today, okay? So, let's get started. If I wanted to find 18% of 80, then to do that, I would use my formula here. I would put 18 over 100, and let's stop there and talk about this 100. It's always going to be 100 because 100 is a whole pizza. 100 is a whole classroom. 100% is a whole village. 100% is a whole school. So always remember that when you're talking about a whole, you're talking about 100%. We're trying to find 18% of that whole. Well, the whole, or the of, is 80. And we're trying to find this x. Remember with last semester we talked about how to find the x in a problem like this. You are going to do our cross product, and then you're going to divide. So 18 times 80. 18 times 80 is going to be 144. Excuse me, 1,440, I apologize, equals 100x. 1,440 equals 100x. How do we solve for a problem for an x, for a variable, when it's multiplication? We use division. We use the opposite operation. I'm going to rewrite this because I've kind of run out of room down there. So we're going to have 1,440 equals 100x. Remember, we divide by 100. We divide by 100. Remember that 100 over 100 equals 1. So that's going to be 1x. We don't need to write 1x. We just write x equals. Whenever you're dividing by a 0, however many zeros you have, you move that decimal place over however many zeros you have to the left. We have 2 zeros here, so that means we're going to move our decimal place over twice to the left, and that's going to give us 14, I'm sorry, that should be a 0 there. That should be a 0 there. 14.4. 14.4. Okay, so 18% of 80 equals 14 and 4 tenths. 14 and 4 tenths. 14 and 4 tenths. So that's our answer there, okay? Let's try a different one. Let me erase this. Let's try a different one. All right, let's do 90% of 70. 90% of 70. Once again, this is a percent, so we're going to put 90 over 100 equals, and this of is our whole, so that's going to go on the bottom here, and we're once again trying to solve for x. Okay? So once again, to solve for x in this case, we're going to do cross multiplication. So 9 times 7 is 63, and I have 2 zeros. That's how you can do that quickly in your head, equals 100x. Once again, this is a multiplication using a variable, and to solve a multiplication using a variable, we divide by 100, divide by 100. Once again, 100 divided by 100 gives you 1, so that's x. Whenever you're dividing with zeros like this, see how there's 2 zeros down here? I can cross off those 2 zeros and those 2 zeros because they cancel each other out. If you did this on a calculator, you would find that 6,300 divided by 100 would give you 63. So the answer to our problem here is 63. So 90% of 70 is 63. Notice that on both of our problems, the other one was 18%. Let's get rid of that little flag there. Don't know why I did that. Of 80. And that one equaled 14.4. Notice that each one of these, the number, our answer, is smaller than our of, or our whole. So our part is smaller than our whole. And the reason for that is because our percentages here are lower than 100. Our percentages are lower than 100. Well, what happens if we have a percentage that's higher than 100? What do you think would happen? Is our answer going to be smaller than our whole, or is our answer, our part, going to be larger than our whole? What do you think? Let's try that out. Let me erase all of this. Remember, my question is, if our percent is larger than 100, is our part going to be higher than our whole or smaller than our whole? Okay? If I were going to say 135%, whoops, let me erase that. I apologize. If I were going to say 135% of 60, do we think that's going to be larger than 60, or do we think that's going to be smaller than 60? Well, let's try it out. If I have 135, remember that's a percent, it's still going to go over 100. Our part, or our of, our whole, or our of, is still 60. Let's see what our part is going to be. Well, we now need to multiply 135 times 60, and we're going to get 8,100 equals, remember that we're doing our cross products, 100x. Remember, once again, this is a multiplication with a variable, and to solve a multiplication with a variable, we have to divide. So we're going to divide by 100. I'm hoping you guys are saying divide. You're in class, I'd have you saying divide, yay! All right, remember that 100 over 100 equals 1. So that gives you 1x equals, remember what I just said, that you have zeros here, so that means you have 2 zeros down here. You're dividing by 2 zeros, so you can mark those off. And our answer is 81. So our answer here is 81. How many of you guessed that your answer would be larger than your whole. Your part would be larger than your whole. If you guess that, you are correct because we're asking for 135% of 60. Okay? Hope you guys understand all of this. Make sure that you have taken your notes. Make sure that you turn those notes in. And I have 3 problems that I want you to do today. The first one is number 1, and it is 35% of 60. Our second one is 40% of 300. And our last one is 110% of 18. So make sure that you do these. Make sure that you turn in your work and show these answers. Make sure that tomorrow when you come to class, you are prepared to tell me what you got for these answers. Make sure that tomorrow when you come to class, you are prepared to tell me how you got these answers. You don't know who I'm going to call on, so I want to make sure that you all understand how to do this work. So please make sure that you get this done, and I will see you guys tomorrow. Have a great day.